Hi everyone and welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus, and you're very welcome back to another live stream episode of The Focus. This is actually episode number 60 of The Focus, so I've done 60 of these, or 59 of these so far. Today we're going to talk about, give a weekly recap on what happened over the last week. It started off kind of slow, but when you look at it, we kind of seven pieces of information to talk about just concerning Hot Toys. We've had a bunch of releases, we've had an update, bunch of photos really, and then 2 announcements. Today we'll also be talking about the Black 8 Studios Andrew Garfield head sculpt for No Way Home, bearded and unbearded version. It's a nice touch. Maybe have a look at that third party Maverick, and that's pretty much it. Going to have a brief look at what happened with that Big Chief Studios as well. So it's just 2 of us here today. So an Irishman and a Scotsman. So make sure you turn on the subtitles there, people. How you doing, Ian? All the Americans
all good,
didn't catch any of that. Like they just heard 33 in the third top of the morning.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
There you go. Yeah, no problem, man. So you're a bit lame, are you?
A bit lame.
Lame, yeah. You're lame, like sick, like you know. You hurt yourself.
Oh, sorry. Right. Yeah.
Not
yeah,
even the Scotsman speaks English.
You said lame. I was like, oh, you're hurting my feelings. So,
No.
yeah,
Have you ever heard that phrase, like a lame duck? It's just like if another word for being injured.
yeah, but the way it was constructed, I thought you said, oh, you're lame. I might be lame.
Oh,
Just-
right, yeah. Well,
Yes,
that too. But
yes, I've broken my thumb. So
and that's kind of the difference between us and so many animals, the old opposable thumbs. So I suppose you've a new appreciation now for thumbs.
for thumbs, yeah, and pulling on socks and all the simple pleasures in life. Yeah. So
Well,
it's.
I'm going to have to do it. Everyone, can we please have a thumbs up for Ian in the chat? Come on.
Thumbs
folks.
up. Come on.
Thumbs up for Ian. Thanks for joining us here. Look, on the most important thing is you have 2 hands and you'll be able to lift that wine glass with the other hand. Isn't that's the main thing? Excellent. Grand. Super. Right. Sláinte, folks. Thanks. Sorry we're a bit late, but thanks for tuning in.
That was my fault, folks. So.
I know. Right, so let's take a look, just address some of the people in the chat. We got Noble Young, who is in here very, very early. Thanks very much for being here. We got Payden23, channel member, much appreciated. Shiny, the thumbnail is the same look he gave Focus when he followed him into the coffee shop. He's not wrong. He is not wrong. We got Lewis in the building as well. We have got Ian as well, warming up the crowd. We have Philip the Fool, channel member. Thanks very much for being here, Philip. Do appreciate it. Hello, Shane and Mr. Lame Duck. Apparently, oh, come on now, Lancelot. He's had a rough day at work, and he's had a rough week there. He's not able to give thumbs up. Look with one hand anyway. We got Jose in the building. See how I'm pronouncing your name right, Jose? See, I learn. And we got Maxim as well. Okay, so people are coming in now. We got 9 in the chat now. Brilliant stuff. All right. Really quickly, just want to remind you about what we're doing. Ian, who's here, obviously, Ancient Silver Fox, has very kindly donated a brand new inbox Winter Soldier, a Civil War Winter Soldier. When the channel, hopefully it's a case of when, or we'll say if and when, the channel hits 3,000 subscribers, we'll be giving that away. How we're going to do it is, we'll give you a week's notice, and more than likely on one of the episodes of The Hope Show, which is every Monday, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 3 p.m. New York time, and midday if you are West Coast in America. We will give you a week's notice. We'll tell you which live stream it in. You'll have to be subscribed, present in the live stream, and we're going to ask a question, and it'll be quickest person to chat with the correct answer will get this, and it'll be shipped to you and everything. So massive thank you to Ian. I think Ian has just a heads up to people in the chat there. Ian has a new camera, so he might be messing around with that. It could be it was kicking him off when we were backstage now. So I'm not sure if you did that on purpose, Ian, but we can't see it, but we can still hear you. So I'll just continue on with this there, and you can have a look if you need to go out and come back in again. We can. I'll sort that. I'll keep an eye on it. All right. So just address the members. So very much. Thank you very much to the members. We have got the troopers. We've got Neilerific. We've got Mugwump. We've got Stephen Rings. Oh yeah, by the way, channel memberships, they're now live, and there's a link in the live chat. It's been pinned to the live chat if you want to become a trooper commander, one of the tiers of channel membership. We got Stephen Rinks, who's a trooper. We got Mike L. We got Payden23. We got Chuli, Bendu Windu. I see Bendu Windu in the chat. We got Ryan Smith. Then on to the troopers. We got Tragedy Tales. We have Alan, the 6 scale gallery. We have X-Man Supreme, 12-inch Moose Stream. Phil the Fool, who is here with us, I believe. Keith, the 6 scale Padawan, who I might be seeing tomorrow at Dublin Comic Con. We got Mark Mitchell, William Owens, Brandon Salad, Phil, Empire Strikes Again. And we have Collecting Weekly and Boba Fettuccini. So they're all the channel members. Thank you very much for your contribution. We did a channel members only giveaway, and Tragedy, well actually, Phil, aka The Empire Strikes, won it and then gifted it to Tragedy Tales. So that was that's been shipped off. That was shipped off. I'm going to address this comment here, Shiny. There is, you should have a list. Have a list for non-member freeloaders like the rest of us. I don't have a list, but we do have a giveaway for the 3K giveaway. So that could be anyone who win. That could be it could be a member or a non-member. Anyway, it doesn't matter if you're a subscriber, trooper, commander, support is appreciated. Some new videos live on the channel. I have done unboxing review of Besbin Luke last week. Big Chief Studios, Tommy Shelby. Bit of a topical one at the moment, considering they've just got into liquidation. They're basically shutting down, which is unfortunate. And Cad Bane as well. Just today then, I recorded a quite long video. There's about 7 pieces of news today, and instead of recording 7 separate videos for things which I mostly had no interest in, I just did one long video actually, and that was premiered just before this. So that's up and live there. Right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to see if I can add Ian back in. So Ian, you're added back in. It's like you have your camera off. We can't hear you. Oh, he's gone again. Okay, I'm going to see. Ian will try to work that out, and then I'll just go solo then until Ian returns. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a recap of the week. We're going to talk about the VTS Maverick. Briefly touch on what happened with Big Chief Studios. We are going to have a look at Black 8 Studios Andrew Garfield head sculpt from No Way Home, the 2 different versions, the bearded version and the unbearded version. And then we're going to look at the announcements today. So that's the quarter scale Iron Man, the golden Iron Man, the limited 300 one, and of course then Moff Gideon 2.0 from The Mandalorian Season 3. So I'm going to see if I can add Ian back in again. So Ian, you're added back in there. Yeah.
Sorry, Shane, my camera's still not working. Give me another moment.
No worries. What I'll do is I'll remove you, and then you can just maybe I can't see the. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll remove you, and then when you're good to go, just drop me a line into the private chat here, or even into the public chat, or even on Instagram. He's gone. All right. Right, so I'll just address the chat there. So, only joking, wishing you a speedy recovery. Good stuff. I'll pass on the message to Ian when he returns. I know he's seen it already in the live chat there. And then we have... Sorry, I'm not comfortable at all here. I need to sort this out. Sorry, whatever way I'm sitting in this chair, I need to... Apologies, folks. I need to get a new chair because this is wrecking my head. There we go. That's a bit more comfortable. I feel like I'm not reaching too far for the laptop. It's kind of cutting my head off. Right. We're a bunch of amateur hacks here, obviously. Right. So who do we got? Bendu Windu, channel member, tuning in, saying hello. Yes, you got the pronunciation right. I've been working on it, Jose. And we have Yomo in the building as well. Good to see you. And El Profesoro Mario, that N1 is not coming. Your beard is safe. Thanks very much for popping in. Lancelot, who also has the Big Chief Studio Tommy Shelby. I don't think he got the Arter. Let me know if you got the Arter. I think, were you possibly considering it? I know you didn't have it at one stage, but sad to hear about Big Chief Studio shop closing shop. Wonder if they're still going to fulfill pre-orders for figures that haven't come out yet. Yeah, we're gonna have a chat about that, because I think a lot of people are going to be asking that exact same question, and I really hope they get sorted, with the very least a refund. But I think a lot of people would really prefer the figures, but I can't speak for them. Payton23, channel member, great to see you. And Mike L as well, good stuff. Mike L's in the house, channel member as well. Thanks for tuning in, Mike, I do appreciate it. Alright, so first of all, I want to have a chat about this. So, look, big movie fan, and as cheesy as it is, I still love the original 80s Top Gun movie. Like, it's I've grown up I grew up in a place called Shannon. It just has an airport, and just like a lot of kids in Shannon, kind of like, I suppose, you know, you're kind of used to seeing planes. I just particularly liked them, and I always liked anything that flew, and particular fighter jets. So I used to love the movie Top Gun purely for just watching the fighter jets. And then obviously, you know, the music is quite cheesy and stuff like that. And it's funny how things that were considered cool in the 80s were considered, like, I suppose what they'd say naff or not cool in the 90s. And then almost the nostalgia's come full circle now, where the cheesiness is almost acceptable. Did you catch any of that, Ian? Or am I talking absolute shite?
I just heard about 80s and naff, so I'm back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. You got sorted, yeah?
For now, I'm hoping so, but yeah.
Yes. So what exactly is happening? Talk us through that.
So I got the new Logitech, well, the Brio 4K webcam. Changed that from, I had the C922, but I found on that one it was blowing out the highlights, particularly behind me. It's really bright.
You're right, because I've got the C922, and that's exactly what it does. You're dead right. So,
I mean, yours doesn't look blown out, but again,
no, I've definitely noticed it. I definitely noticed. I've done a bit of adjustments on it, but I want to get like a Dan from 6K Reviews has told me about this Sony one, because I think I might actually go with that one. But sorry, continue on.
Yeah, so I've got it connect. Well, I've got a multiplexer for certain devices, but I've got the preamp, the Focusrite Scarlett Pro, so that's been dropping off. And the camera's been dropping off, but the audio is fine, which is strange because everything's connecting through that. So I'm not going to touch anything else. So,
and we'll hope for the best.
Other than the Friday night beer and wine. So
happy days. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
What I was saying is, like, you know, as a movie fan, like growing up as a kid, I loved the Top Gun movie. As cheesy as it was, absolutely loved it. As a kid, loved anything that flew, particularly loved fighter jets. So the F-14, the F-18, like, and even like now the F-22 or like the F-14, stealth bombers, all that kind of stuff. Just thought they were really, really cool. Just appreciate the engineering. And obviously as an engineer yourself, you can get that, I'd imagine. Yeah. But like things that were cool in the 80s, like they kind of went through this cycle where what I've noticed is like in the 90s they were like, oh, that's not cool at all, that's really cheesy. And then now it almost comes back around in fashion where like the 80s music is like cool again, if you know what I mean. Like it's like in fashion, whether you like it or not. Like, but I actually love a lot of the soundtrack from Top Gun. As cheesy as it is, I love it. Like I love the theme, that Take My Breath Away song, Danger Zone. Like it's just, I just have an appreciation for it. And it is nostalgia, no pun intended, or no, you know, I'm not winking at the mic, I'm saying it is pure nostalgia. But then Maverick came along, and it's just a bloody good movie. I genuinely think Maverick is a 5-star movie, and it's better than the original. What do you think?
Yeah, like, so the original's got a special place in my heart because I've got a good memory from an old friend when we were very young teenagers. He's no longer with us. So it's got a special place. We actually saw it on a double date when we were like,
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so it's got a huge place in my heart. I've got a collector's edition steelbook and things for that. So I love that movie. But I agree. Maverick took that movie to a whole new level, and it's really good that it didn't just, you know how a lot of sequels just layer from the original. This just elevated it. It made its own. I thought it was epic. I thought Tom Cruise was stunning. I thought the cinematography was amazing, and I love this figure. Yeah.
Do you think, like, I am interested, and I gotta say, I just want to quickly just, like, I think that's a good head sculpt. I don't think it's a 10. I don't think it's a 9. I don't think it's an 8. I think a 7 would be, like, that's what I would give it. And I think there's work to be done. What do you think?
I would agree. I would agree, Shane. I think Tom Cruise has got... I've not seen a great head sculpt of Tom Cruise. It might just be me, but I've seen a lot of custom or third party. I think he's got a very difficult face to work with. But this is the best I've seen, I think. But when you've got his helmet on, I think it looks fantastic. So...
yeah, like
I wouldn't pose this. I wouldn't pose this figure without the helmet personally.
Yeah,
or maybe I would. I don't know. I'd maybe do it unless I could get the original Top Gun, a good figure to companion piece it with. But yeah, I think it looks great.
And I think maybe, like, but this one, like, if I had my pick, I'd be picking one from the 80s movie. I'd have to, if I could only get one from the 80s movie with a really good head sculpt, and I'd want the flight suit with all the patches and buckles and belts hanging off of the harness, and with the helmet, with the visor as well, so you pose him holding the helmet with the fighter pilot visor, even like if the mask as well hanging around his neck or something like that. I think that would be D1. But I agree with you. Often I see these like third-party versions of Tom Cruise or custom, and I just swipe through them. Like I kind of yet to see one that's really, really good. Now maybe I'm not looking in the right places, and you know, call a spade a spade. If I see one and it's like, oh, this one's $2,000, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. You know, but it's a lot of the time I see them and I'm just like, no. But this one here, I know I'm not going to sit here just because I'm interested and go, oh, this is fantastic. But I think it's okay. Like, it's definitely not a 10, definitely not a 9. I wouldn't give it I think around a 7 with a bit of work to do. I'm pretty sure I have the results of a poll that I put up on the channel. I just want to check this for 1 second. See if I thought I screenshotted the results to share later on, but...
See, while you're checking, Shane, there was... Yeah. Because there's something I was speaking to somebody about, the Blondie, the Clint Eastwood, the Good, the Bad, the Ugly, a base that I'm looking at. There's this guy, Saber Creations, and I noticed a while, I only just started looking at him, and he's got this Top Gun diorama from the original, and it's a section piece from a jet fighter plane with the background from the carrier.
I've heard about this. P-Rock was telling me about this. P-Rock was telling me about this.
Phenomenal.
Okay, I think I have the results of this here. Where the hell is it? No. Anyway, I put up a poll, and the options were, the question was, does this look like Tom Cruise? The options were yes, no, and then yes, but needs work. 25% said no. And I think about 25% said yes, and then 50% or something around that like that said, yeah, but it needs work. I would be inclined to say yes, but it needs work. So yeah, look, Interesting to see how this turns out. I might actually hold off and see into how it turns out, the head sculpt. I am interested in it though. I think the fact that it is this version kind of gives it a kind of almost a science fiction type of a vibe where it will look pretty damn cool on the shelf. Like I think that suit looks fantastic. And I think you're right, like you pose it like that in the suit, and in fairness, I did look at stills from the movie when I saw this to see like how accurate it was. They've got it pretty damn good, like, you know, the pipes, the colouring, the hosing, the patches, the helmet, the, you know, the writing and the text on the helmet as well. And like you said, you put that helmet on as well, you know, obviously it's going to hide some of the sculpt, and maybe that helps it look a bit more, suspend the imagination on it, like, but yeah, I think it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I really
so
like that.
You've locked this one in already, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've pre-ordered this one. I'm desperate to get a good original from the original Top Gun movie to go along with it, of that movie. But yeah, this is what's great, Shane. These companies that are doing these type of figures, I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna hold off with the I might want to see how it turns out, just that head sculpt, but I'm watching this one now. I'm interested to see if they do this. This same company did Starship Troopers and stuff like that. I'm wondering if they do this, will they then do, like, you know, the jeans and kind of you know, like leather jacket with all the patches on it and glasses look, or will they actually do the F-14, or sorry, the second movie, F-18 flight suit for it, like, because it's the flight suit that would be my main one. But like, if they knock the head sculpt out of the park, it would have to be a bit better than this, I think, for me to get it. But I am looking at it. I just want to address the chat real quick. Dave says, Mrs. Finally gone out, very rare. Have the house to myself. A large Cadbury's fruit and nut, a large red wine, and chillaxing with you lot. Cheers all. Sounds good, yeah, absolutely. Shiny. This guy never turns his brain off. This is middle gun. That's pretty good. Suit looks awesome though. Payden, channel member. I wonder if anyone will make a figure from the new Mission Impossible movie. Yeah, I have not yet to see it. Tom Cruise makes great movies. I don't particularly like Tom Cruise, but he kind of won me over again after Maverick. I watched Mission Impossible 1 and 2 when they first came out years ago. I actually saw Mission Impossible 1 in the cinema like a few weeks after seeing Independence Day back in 96, and I enjoyed that. And then after number 2 I didn't watch anymore. I rewatched 1 and 2 recently. 1 is good, 2 is fucking awful. It is stupid. Like, has anyone in the chat watched Mission Impossible 2 recently and as an adult and can remember it? You still with us, Ian?
I'm here.
Have you watched Mission Impossible 2?
I've not watched that for a while. When I went to see the latest Mission Impossible movie, I watched 4 upwards because it's kind of linked. So I've not seen the original 3 or so for a while.
Jeez, 2's just some of the ridiculous stunts in the end. Like they're like chasing each other on a motorcycle, and they're both wearing, like, first of all, they're wearing these stupid glasses, like, which is just ridiculous, and they're doing these like motorbike stunts while trying to fight each other. I'm not describing it really well. If you'll watch it, you'll be like, that's what he was talking about. Like, there's a lot of unnecessary jumping around the place when they're fighting each other as well. It's just ridiculous. Lancelot says, feel like this is going to be one of those sculpts where from certain angles it's great and from others not so much. Possibly. Mario says, the likeness is slightly there but definitely needs work. I do think the likeness is there, but I also do think it does need a bit of work. I haven't seen any Mission Impossible movies, but I remember something about Limp Bizkit. Yeah, they did the theme tune. They took the theme tune and wrote a song around it, around the soundtrack for Mission Impossible 2. It's actually a bloody good song. Like, yeah, it actually is a bloody good song. You should check it out. All right, so Ian, you've locked this one in. I'm probably going to wait and see the head sculpts turn out, but I am interested, like yourself, you put on that helmet there, I think it'd be a nice representation of just a banger of a movie. But I have a suspicion that they actually are going to go and give us a flight suit one. Right, so Big Chief Studios, I'm just going to read this out. So Big Chief, if you're unfamiliar with them, they make James Bond figures, they make Doctor Who figures. They recently did the Peaky Blinders Thomas and Arthur Shelby, which I picked up and I reviewed Tommy, and Arthur I will be reviewing him. Look, I'll try to keep this story short. For Tommy and Arthur Shelby, they had the signature versions, which was £300 each, or they had the collector versions, which are £260 each. The difference is that the signature versions, as the name suggests, comes with the actor's actual signature. So if you get Tommy, you get a metal plate which signed with a permanent marker, Cillian Murphy's actual signature. If you get Arthur, you get a metal plate signed by Paul Anderson and has its actual signature. They're both limited to 400 each. Now, if you've been following the channel, you know that I don't gravitate towards limited or numbered figures or whatever. Like, it doesn't make a difference to me if I have something and the world has it, or if I have something and no one has it. It's a nice touch that they were limited, but the reason I went after them is because of the signatures. Now, I thought £300 each was a bit out of my price range. I didn't think they were worth £300 each. Then over the summer, I noticed they're doing a summer sale. I logged on to see if it was any good, and it was. They had dropped them down, the signature versions, for £300 each. They've dropped them down to £130 each. That was ridiculous. And they'd only come out a few weeks back. So I had to pull the trigger, basically 2 for the price of 1. And I'm glad I did. Now then, during the week, I see this. If you log on to their website now, bigchiefstudios.co.uk, you'll see this message. Now I will read this out. It is with heavy heart. Now, by the way, their website is essentially shut down. Apart from this, you can't buy anything on it. They sold their own figures that they made, but they also sold the hot toys and other stuff as well. So it is with heavy heart that I must inform our customers that despite our best efforts, Big Chief Studios, the company, has been forced to cease trading. Having gotten through the global pandemic, the subsequent numerous knock-on effects have combined, creating a perfect storm that has extended delays to both the manufacture and release of our products. The current cost of living crisis and economic downturn have resulted in plummeting sales, which has seriously impacted our ability to continue and for us to be able to negotiate the renewal of our key licenses with any certainty. I have carefully considered the financial position of the company, and following receipt of specialist advice from Begbie's trainer, I have concluded that the company is unable to pay its debts and can no longer afford to trade. The necessary steps need to be taken to place the companies into creditors' voluntary liquidation. You will shortly be receiving a formal notification from them detailing the liquidation process and steps that you may be able to take to secure a refund of any deposits you have paid. Having worked tirelessly for over a decade to deliver high-end collectibles, it is deeply wounding for myself and the team. I am sincerely sorry to all our loyal customers and apologize wholeheartedly for the situation. For further information, kindly send any queries to bigchief@btguk.com. Yours sincerely, Mark Andrews, Managing Director, Big Chief Studios Limited. So just in case anyone is out there and they have bought figures from Big Chief, they've pre-ordered figures and haven't received them, whether directly from Big Chief Studios or from some other distributor, retailer, anything, that's the situation. I would urge you to contact whoever you ordered or pre-ordered the figures that you haven't received yet from, but I would also email bigchief@btguk.com. So sad to see. Ian, can I get your take on that? Do you A, have any Big Chief Studios products? B, were you interested or have you pre-ordered any? And then C, what do you think of this situation itself?
Yeah, one for a Western kind of UK company, it's really sad. So they're quite well known, Big Chief Studios. I was tempted a while ago around the Sean Connery Bond figures that they had, the gold finger and all that stuff. I thought they looked great. That was a point I was on a hiatus. So I have heard from a friend that the big part of their issue has been the Hong Kong resellers that's ate into their business, apart from their own products that they made. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, it's a shame. They've had some hit and misses. There's definitely some hit and misses, but I think they've had some great figures. And I love, this is another company that's provided, you know, an IP that we're not getting much from other companies. So you've got your Tommy and Arthur Shelby, right? That's brilliant that they've done that, especially the Signature series. You've got James Bond. So yeah, it's a real shame. I just hope that nobody's, in terms of the communities, affected by this, but I've not had anything ordered through them, so.
Yeah, it is, being honest, the only chance I would have had of getting a Tommy Shelby or Arthur Shelby from Peaky Blinders, if they hadn't made him, would have been to kit bash it myself, which I'm not going to do. I'm just not going to do. Or to get a custom made and spend, I know, thousands possibly on getting them done, which I'm also not going to do, because as much as I love Peaky Blinders, it's a great bloody show, and Cillian Murphy's a legend, and he's one of our own. I wasn't willing to spend £300, so I wasn't going to go getting a custom worth any more than that, But
yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, I'd seen a bunch of reviews. I'd seen Dean Knight's reviews. He loved them. I saw Lancelot's Nerds Corner's review on Tommy Shelby, and I thought he had a very, very honest review, and I liked that. And that kind of it managed my expectations for when I bought them. But when I got them in hand, then I was kind of going, Jesus, these are actually better than I expected. And I don't think that's I've never bought into the in-hand argument. It's oh God, you got to see them in hand. You're dealing with reviewers here using cameras at 4K. I mean, you watch enough videos, you get an idea if it's going to be good or bad. I've never had a figure delivered to me that looked amazing in a video, and then I get it and it looks terrible. Or the opposite has never happened to me either, Something might be slightly better or worse in hand or not, but I think it was Lancelot gave a very thorough and very honest and accurate review on the Tommy Shelby. I think if anything, it might have been a little bit too critically, which is good. And I like that, because then someone, they're being honest, and I like that. So I really liked his review, and he actually does reviews, and then he does this off the cuff series where he just talks about the figure after having a few weeks. It's a great idea. But when I got them in hand, I think he maybe he kind of lowered my expectations for him, which is good. And then I got him, I was like, oh geez, this is actually class, all the different accessories, and it's just nice having the signature, and they give you the metal plaque and the signatures there, and the little acrylic stand for them, and there's a few nice touches. The tailoring is pretty good, but then the head sculpts are you can see where they're going. You can see they're trying to get Paul Anderson's likeness or Cillian Murphy's likeness, but they're just a bit soft. They're a bit plasticky, and I get that they're plastic, but they shouldn't look like they're plastic. And that's the head sculpts. They're 7 out of 10s. I'd say strong 7s, but I wouldn't give them any more than that. You know what I mean? But I'm the sum of all parts, the tailoring, the proportions, the accessories. Yeah, I'm happy with my purchase. And now after seeing this, I'm sad this has happened. It sucks for the people out there that have money tied up in this. I know one of our friends from the Hope Show, Trevor, he was highly anticipating, I think, Doctor Who figures, and he had a lot orders put down. I'm sure there's loads of people out there, hundreds, maybe even thousands of people out there like that. But yeah, so it kind of sucks, doesn't it?
It'll be interesting. They're still making the movie, aren't they? The Peaky Blinders movie.
The last I saw, now this was a quote, and I don't know if it was taken out of context, but Cillian Murphy said something along the lines of he liked how they tied it up, and I thought they ended it well. but he said it would all depend if the story is there, because spoiler alert, Tommy's still alive. But he said the story would have to be there and a story worth told, and Stephen Knight would have to be on board, which is fair enough. So I reckon you will see a movie there, but like we got to get through this strike first and waiting, that's in the rear of your mirror before anything else happens. Just going to address the chat real quickly. Peter, how are you doing? Peter, you're more than welcome to hop on. Just let us know, and I can shoot your link if you're at a loose end there. Lancelot, Big Chief Studios figures aren't exactly Hot Toys quality, but they tackle licenses that others didn't and made great figures in their own right. Yeah, that's fair enough. Maybe not the same standard, but like you said, they're tackling kind of like what a lot of people would use third parties for. Mars Toys are coming in for the likes of Batman 89, Returns. There's talks of them doing a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. They're doing a Penguin. They're filling in that gap, and they're doing quite a good job. That 66 Joker, when I think of third parties, that's probably one of the better third parties out there. Lancelot raising a glass of good old Jameson Irish in their honour. Yeah, that's good. I'm trying to think now. Peaky Blinders. Was the family, were they originally Irish, or were they UK, or were they Scottish? Were they Welsh? I think they actually had Irish roots, if my memory serves me correctly, but I could be wrong on that. I don't want to claim them. But have you watched the show?
Me? Oh, yeah.
Because they were they're originally gypsies, and I'm wondering what their heritage was. I can't remember if their heritage was rooted in Irish or Welsh or Scottish or English.
I don't believe, no, they're definitely not Scottish.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember the gypsy lineage that was in. It was very strong in one
there you go.
season.
Lancelot has it, I think.
Romanian, yeah.
Yeah, so. Dad was Irish and her mum was Romani. Thank you very much, Lancelot. In future, I will just go straight to the expert. He's a Peaky Blinders guru. But anything you want to add to that, Ian? Or
no, apart from I'm laughing when you said the Scottish, because in the last season they had it was kind of corny, the Billy Boys from Glasgow that they had, that Tommy and that were coming up against, if you recall. I
can't even remember, and I didn't watch it that long ago, but since I got the figures, I said to the girlfriend, I said, look, we need to go back and rewatch that because it's quality TV, and I feel that we need to get the memory of Secret Invasion out of our minds, because I feel 30% dumber after watching that show. That was horrible. Did you watch it?
Yes, all of it. The last episode, absolutely.
Not just the last episode.
Yeah,
go on.
I agree. The premise, I don't know where they're going, but especially the last episode killed me big time. I just thought that was the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
You've created this superhero. Where are you going with this, man?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So completely overpowered. Like I don't even think Emilia Clarke was good in it. I just didn't care. I didn't feel that she had any range. You watch Game of Thrones, she's an absolute boss. Definition of an intelligent, smart leader. It doesn't matter what her gender is, whatever. But then in this, it was just so forgettable. I thought it was a mess, to be honest. It's shows like that where repeatedly I'm kind of going, I think I might cancel my Disney Plus membership, or subscription. But then when I want to go back and watch good things like Andor, Mandalorian season 1 or 2, and they don't really release them on DVD, or I don't even have a DVD player. But you know what I mean? She's just.
Shane, what the MCU needs right now is a snap.
Yeah. I just the guy's motivation, the main guy, and I don't even think he was a particularly strong villain either, Was his motivation that he was annoyed that Nick Fury broke a promise?
Yeah, that was it.
I just...
Everything was in my... Look, I was really quite keen early on. It felt like that kind of good British spy espionage thing that was going to unfold. That's what I thought. But it was the storytelling, ultimately the characters were weak, and the interconnect between characters were flawed. I just... And it started to unravel very fast for me as it progressed in its 6 episodes. I just don't... If you're going to do Secret Invasions, I don't think it's suitable for these 6 30 minutes or so shows. I don't know.
The thing is, I don't mind how long they are, just if it's a good story and if it's engaging and it's like, well acted and it's captivating. Like, do you remember the first episode of season 5 of Peaky Blinders? Tommy is like off the drink and they're in are they in France, and he walks into this really, really like dank kind of a bar, and all lads are sitting around depressed drinking. I think they lost the war, I can't remember the context, and the guy gives him a drink to drink and kind of says, you drink it now. Like, can you remember that?
I can't recall that one.
But the scene is tense. Something's going to happen, but it's the way, it's like what they don't say, and it's their body language, and it's the setup, and he keeps pushing him, and God, Tommy's small, but he's a bit of a psychopath. Like, that's his dangerous thing. He's going to go the extra mile, like, and something's going to happen. A bit like the opening scene in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh yeah,
Like, something's going to go south. You don't know why, but it's the acting, it's the script, it's the bits in between what they say, not just what they say. It's how they say it. The Disney Plus shows have none of that. I know I'm really digging a knife in here now. We're paying good money to see this, and are you not entertained? No, I'm not. You know what I mean? So I fingers crossed for Ahsoka, because
Shane, see on Ahsoka, from what I believe in terms of what's capturing, it should be an absolute success. The characters, the story element that's there. If they screw this up, however, the executives from Disney and co get too involved. So we'll see.
What I made the point on a bit of a rant. It wasn't a very articulate point. On Joao's channel, I think it was yesterday. I think all these Disney Plus TV shows are written, particularly the Marvel Disney Plus shows, the MCU shows, they're written by teams of people. And like, I don't know if that's necessarily the best approach, as opposed to getting one, maybe 2 writers together going, have this idea, have a clear idea, a vision. But I suppose it's trying to get that idea past the producers, who essentially have all the money and decide if it's greenlit or not. But some of the best movies, like, they were those movies where they had that really passionate director who was just going to fight tooth and nail for the vision. Like the George Lucas's or the Spielberg, as in the George Lucas from the original trilogy, to be clear, or some of Spielberg's movies, or Cameron with the Aliens, or the Terminator movies. Like, there's that bit of a one person with a clear vision, a clear story to tell, and then they pick and choose who does the different parts. But it just seems like there's too many cooks, and it's like a bunch of horses tied by ropes going in different directions. Like,
yeah, it's going back from my industry. It's like project creep in terms of you've got a mandate, and if you creep from that in terms of other people getting involved, 9 times out of 10 it will never be a successful project. And I just think, especially when it's a creative environment. Plus I think there's too much, for me personally, CGI.
Did you not like the tattoos, the Drax tattoos on Emilia Clarke's guns? No.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that.
I don't know.
Jeez.
I know. Sorry, We're trying to get this back on track. I apologize to people listening to my disdain there. Jose, why does Emilia Clarke continue to strike out with everything other than Game of Thrones? As a fan, I'm bummed she can't have a hit. I can't even remember what she's been in besides Secret Invasion. I know she was in a Christmas movie with the guy from The Gentleman, but it wasn't exactly a hit. So I can't remember. Has she been in any other hits since? Was she in a movie with Tom Cruise recently or something? I can't even remember. But yeah, she was so good in Game of Thrones. But then again, Game of Thrones, for the most part, ignoring season 8, had great writing, and they had a story and they had a plan. But then until it fell apart. Best TV at the moment, Only Murders in the Building, just brilliant. I gotta disagree with you there. Megan loves that. I cannot get into it. But probably better than Secret Invasion. He felt like Nick promised them a new home planet and then forgot about them. They felt tired of hiding their true selves, so they decided to take this planet. But it's essentially a broken promise resulting in essentially genocide. So like it's not. I don't know. I don't think that holds up. I know it's science fiction, it's comic books, but there has to be some sort of grounding. Like when Emilia Clarke's character got like every power under the sun, what's the point in the MCU then? Like what's the point? Even lads, Copper, how you doing? Payton says he thinks Ahsoka will be really good. I hope it is. They need a win. I agree, Shane. Every season of Peaky Blinders was written by Stephen Knight, and the man is nothing short of genius. Yeah, just bloody good writing. Some comic ideas are too... Yes, they are. They are. Some things you can't lift directly from a comic page and put on the screen, no matter how good your CGI is and expect it to be good. You need to pick and choose. But then, of course, you'd have the comic book purists saying that's not how it was in the comics. But like, not everything's going to translate that well, Crossing everything at Ahsoka is great. Yeah. Just have to chime in on this quickly. It's not like Marvel doesn't have something to base these stories on. I understand it's not always easy to adapt these stories, but often the OG stories are the best. Yeah, or at least take checkpoints on a comic book story and work towards it, and you don't have to have every single frame by frame. Pick what will work. Get rid of jettison what won't work. Sorry, have you hiding there, Ian? There we go. The Christmas movie she was in. Yeah, I saw the Christmas movie, and she was in Terminator Genesis, and she was in a Han Solo movie. I watched the Han Solo movie. I found it entertaining. Was it like... I've only watched it once, which is not a good sign. I typically go back and watch movies a lot that I really, really love. But I didn't, it didn't offend me. I thought it was fine. It was fun. Maybe I was in the mood for watching it. Terminator Genesis, I haven't seen. I will never see. There are 2 Terminator movies and that's it. Moving swiftly onwards. I'm meeting Linda Hamilton tomorrow. Linda Hamilton. And I'm not sure how I can break it to her. Hey, look, I just love Terminator 1 2. They're such fantastic movies. Because she might follow it up with what about the rest of them? Sorry, Linda. They were... So maybe I just say I haven't seen them. Because I have seen Terminator 3, which was awful. And then I saw Terminator 4. And as a Christian Bale fan, I was like, all right, Christian. Everyone has a black mark on their list. So, no, there are 2 Terminator movies. I'm not sure how I'm going to step around that. Because she might drop me, So I'm meeting, all going well. I'm meeting Linda Hamilton tomorrow, Robert Patrick, and Kyle Reese, Michael Bean. So yeah, hopefully it'll be organised well. I am skeptical about this, but yeah. Mr. Fantastic is a great example. His powers on screen just looks so stupid. Peter, you're not wrong. Yeah. Yes, like Stretch Armstrong. That's not Mike. That's a scroll. Not enough exclamation marks. I was thinking the same thing. Jose Gonzalez, or is it Gonzalez? Sorry, why did I say? I just mixed up your middle initial and the second half of your name. Sorry, Jose G. Hernandez. So you've never seen Dark Fate with Linda Hamilton? I haven't. I know I won't like it, and I know I shouldn't, but I just know I won't like it. Maybe I'm a grumpy old man. Just get off my lawn. Have you seen Dark Fate, Ian?
No, not me. I was trying to remember the first time I saw Linda Hamilton. Was it not like the Beauty and the Beast thing?
What?
Oh, I'm going to have a look.
Oh my god!
So I've not seen Dark Fate, but
It's yeah, she's like, well, you know who she is, yeah.
yeah, of course, yes. Yeah.
What's the Beauty and the Beast thing? Was she in some other movie? So I know she was in other movies before and after, but
it was yeah. So 1987, it was a TV series. Or was it? Hold on. Was she in? Yeah, she was. So it was an American drama series, Beauty and the Beast, 1987. That's where I first saw Linda Hamilton.
So you saw that before you saw Terminator?
Did I? No, I didn't.
Yeah, because she's in the first and second.
Yeah, she's in the first. So I didn't know. So that's not correct. So I take that back. So
no, I think you could be right, because Andre, I remember I watched some documentary recently about the making of the first and second movie, and I think you're right. Linda Hamilton's going to be in Stranger Things, the new Stranger Things. I would love to see that. If that's true. Andre said Beauty and the Beast TV show. Thank you, Andre. Yep. She was cool in Dark Fate. I heard she's in great shape as well. Like, she was in fantastic shape in Terminator 2. It was just you couldn't but notice it. But I've heard she I saw an interview with her about how she was getting back in shape for Dark Fate, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll just do the same thing that I did like 30 years ago." And she was like, "Oh, this is so much harder." Like, you know, and I just respect that. Calvin is in the building. What's up, Calvin? How are you doing? Dark Fate with the latest Terminator movie, first Terminator movie where Linda back since T2. Did you know that apparently Warner Brother hounded Christian Bale to reprise his role as Batman? I am so glad he refused, because that was a shit show. It was just, sorry, like, it was just a bad movie. Besides the Keaton bits, I just know.
So Christian Bale said no, and George Clooney said yes, and that's what you got.
I think he was supposed to get out of the car at the end, but to be honest, if he had got out of the car in the end, I'd think less of him. I'm sure he'd really, really care what some random Irish guy doesn't think about him. Right, so we'll move on from this. So this is something. Are you picking up this version? Sorry, let me start that again. So obviously with No Way Home, we've had Andrew, multiple Toms, and Toby. The Toby looks fantastic. The integrated suit Tom is out, and of course the prototype for the final swing suit looks fantastic. Now, for the Hot Toys, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, it's not branded No Way Home. We don't know why. We think maybe it's a licensing issue. It's purely speculation. So basically, they took the same Amazing Spider-Man 2 figure, re-released and touched up some paint apps, so essentially the same sculpt. So he looks very young. So he doesn't have the same hair, he doesn't have the same facial hair, he doesn't have the same... He's not old looking in it. So these sculpts are out for anyone looking to get that Amazing Spider-Man 2 and pop this sculpt on it. Ian, you don't have this, you've no interest in this because you've got another one from 1/6 Kid, is that right?
Yeah, I think it's RCN Studios. I've never purchased anything from them. I've obviously purchased through Kit. So I've got a different head sculpt that I want for this figure. This is great as well. So, but it was just because that one came out and I saw it and I thought, yeah, I'll jump in, I'll take a gamble. Because I actually want to pose this Spider-Man without the mask. I want Andrew Garfield on this.
That's my thinking. I want the three lads without the mask, and I kind of worry that, like, if, say, I plan on either Toby's on the way and I'm getting the Andrew as well, but I want this sculpt because my plan is to have Tom, Toby and Andrew holding their masks in the detail of just chatting to each other. Head sculpts exposed, holding the masks in some sort of weird pose or something like that, like a conversational, maybe some sort of a meme pose, something along that effect, you know? But I do want to show off the head sculpts. And the RCN one I missed out on, and then this one popped up on KG Hobby by, I believe this is called Blackgate Studios. They do a bearded one, which is on the left, and then of course a clean one on the right. I'm going to go for the bearded one. I was chatting to Lion Rock today, and they said that they can track this down. So I'm going to order the Amazing Spider-Man, the 2.0 that they just released, and the head sculpt here on the left. Jose, I'm just trying to answer this question here. It's not that I don't like it. I think they're done. I think they're sold out, or the order has stopped on it or something like that. I think when I checked, it wasn't there. So yeah, this one will do the trick. I'm happy with this one anyway. I'm sure they're both great, but again, which one do you think is better, Ian? And like, if do you think the RCN one, please just say it, because
it's hard to say because I've got no experience from them. From a photo, I prefer RCN, but it's a photo. It's hard to say. I do like the stubble bearded Andrew on the left. I think that's the stronger one of these two. I actually really like that. I think the eyes look funny because they've got the catch lights are coming down from the top. Use it. So if you take that away, this is a cracking head sculpt.
And it's got that neck
really
piece as well, which is good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I think this is a very strong head sculpt. I really like it. So
I recently...
if I didn't...
Sorry, go on.
If I didn't see the RCN before, because that was earlier on that I ordered that, I would order this. So I think for me, I would... In fact, I'm quite tempted to order that because I've got another Amazing Spider-Man figure. I might put that on. Because the other head sculpt that I've got, and that's not good.
Right.
But I like this.
Yeah, I like it too. And the thing is, I was on track to having like 9 Spider-Man, which is ridiculous. Like, because I'm not even the biggest Spider-Man fan. Like, so Homecoming Deluxe, 2 upgraded Iron Spider, and then the what I call the oil change Spider-Mans, the battling versions. That's 5. And then Andrew, Toby, and the integrated one, and then the final swing. That's 9. And I kind of like had to think, and I was like, right, no, you can't do this. So I got rid of the 2 upgradeds in Mysterio, and I got rid of the Iron. Logic there was that I kind of fell out of love with the Mysterio. And like, maybe it's one of those purchases I'll have to buy back again at a later date, but it seems like a sound sale at the moment. But I have that battling version. I'm a sucker for battle damage, and even though the weathering isn't that great on the battling version from No Way Home, with the base that he stands on and stuff like that, it could have been a lot more what's the word? It could have been a lot more oiled up. Basically, it could have been a lot more weathered, and it wasn't. But I thought it basically is the upgraded suit. So I held on to that, sold the 2 upgraded suit in the Mysterio, and the Iron Spider because I don't have any Infinity War figures. So the Homecoming Spider-Man one, that's my favorite version with all the gear on it. I'm not going to go into details why, because I've said it about 100 times on the channel already. So because of that, then my point is that a lot of people are skipping on the integrated suit, yeah, because they prefer the final swing, and I completely get that. But the thing I want to do with the 3 guys holding their masks, head sculpts exposed, having a chat, or that meme pose, you'd need the integrated suit really. And I want to pose the final swing suit on that really, really nice snow base that they've got. So that's why I said, right, something has to go. You can't have 9. I refuse to let myself have 9. So that's why I got rid of those 3. And I'm happy enough and use the collection to fund the collection, all that kind of stuff. But right, so I've actually sorry, you're gonna have to just talk to people there for a second or two there, Ian. Just this can is just everywhere. Give me 1 second.
That's cool. So Shane touched on the integrated suit. A lot of people have said that it's not their favourite suit, and it's not my favourite suit, but I've got the integrated suit, and this is a cliche. When you get it in hand, the colours pop. It looks amazing. I'm classic suits, but I'd love to see what anybody else says. But I've got the deluxe integrated suit that's back there. So yeah, I would love to see what everybody else says. But I think it's a great suit. The colours pop. My opinion is that you don't have too many Spider-Man figures that look the same. They've got to stand out a little bit. So, fire the chats in. Don't leave me hanging. Cheers, Phil. Or, what does everybody else think about these two head sculpts? I'll put that there.
Sorry, and I just want to apologise there. I left you completely in the lurch there. The IPAs, they're so gassy. No matter how much you let them settle, some IPAs, even if you have them vertically, sometimes they just gas up a lot. Even if you haven't been shaking them, but like I find bottles of IPA and cans, the worst thing you can do is put them on their sides in the fridge. Even if you leave them for 48 hours, as soon as you just turn them vertically, absolutely just go to town. So that was a averted a crisis there. But no, played a blinder, and absolutely right. I'm still going to get the integrated suit because I want to just I want to follow through in this little vision and have the three of them pose up together and see what it looks like, and hopefully it'll work out. I just want to address some of these chats here. Thanks there for holding down the fort. My 5-year-old prefers the one on the right. Yeah, well, you know, yeah, good taste. We have a new channel member, Lancelot's Nerd Corner. Lancelot's Nerd Corner became a YouTube member. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. That's brilliant. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If someone had told me like 18 months ago, yeah, you're going to have a YouTube channel, and on the channel you get to talk about all the movies and TV shows that you love, and collecting and all the different figures you're into and collectibles and stuff like that, and meet with people all over around the world, I would have said, get out of town. And then if someone said, yeah, and sometimes people will give you super chats, tip you, I would have said, no, that's bullshit. I don't believe that. So thank you very much. I do appreciate that, Lancelot. Thanks very much for becoming a trooper commander. Appreciate it. Got bevied up with some buddies this evening and was in a spending mood. Happy to support the first 1/6 creator I started regular watching. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome, man. Thanks very much. And yeah, well, you know, if
Shane.
Yeah.
Shane. So Lancelot's obviously in for the Winter Soldier giveaway figure, but I'm quite keen. I'm going to show him a Tagalog book that I've got. I used to work in Philippines, so
you're going to show what?
A Tagalog book that I've got. I used to learn Tagalog when I worked in the
Philippines. Oh, is that like is it a language? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the language of the Philippines. Yeah.
Oh, right. I did not know that. Lancelot, I do appreciate that. Thank you. Go on.
From a young engineer days. So yeah. So cheers, Lancelot.
Good stuff. Thanks, Lancelot. I do appreciate it. No luck on the RCN kit. Added a few more, but guess it's sold out. Thanks very much for checking anyway, Jose. I do appreciate that. So Empire is giving the new channel member salutes. Left Ian hanging. I know, I'm terrible. Glad to be part of the focus team. We're glad to have you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I think the sculpts look a little wonky, but they're more accurate to the movie. Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I don't think they look wonky though. If it turns out like this, I'll be very, very happy, particularly with that bearded one, which is the one I was interested in. But I definitely think, I would agree they are more accurate than the Hot Toys one. For whatever reason, Hot Toys couldn't get the license. Maybe they didn't want to give it out, or who knows. We all say it's a licensing issue, but no one really actually knows what that means. So, Payton23, they look good, but I prefer the stubble version. I do prefer the stubble version, or the battle damage version, stubbled, whichever one. All right, it's just another detail, I suppose, that just gives it a bit more character. So, what are we looking at next then? So that's just like an example, just another angle really that it has, like, you know. So yeah, hopefully it'll turn out well. So I just want to go back and have a look. What was our little so we didn't actually get a chance to do a recap, which is a recap of the week. So we're going to take a look at that. We've addressed the Maverick, Big Chief Studios and Black H Studio Andrew head sculpt. Right, so we're going to take a look at some of the stuff that went on during the week really quickly. We're not going to spend all day on everything. I already did a video for that. But yeah, give me 1 second now. Right. Okay. So Ian, look, the main things we're going to talk about is Moff Gideon and that quarter scale Iron Man that dropped today, but we will go back a bit, right? And we'll go back to one of the first things that happened, I think it's about a week ago at this stage.
Shane, I'm really glad that you fast forwarded past the Joker.
No, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's no. Right. Look, we'll do 30 seconds each on this. We're not gonna spend all day in this. But look, Ian, I'm starting a timer. 30 seconds. Give us your thoughts on this. Go for it.
Hugely disappointed. Like the movie, the figure's not good. The movie was shit, and I'm a huge fan of the first and the second. Massive fan of the first. Thought amazing. Big fan of Keanu Reeves. This is such a huge disservice, and honestly, no disrespect if people like this, because I think he's fantastic. The head sculpt's not okay. Personally, for me, head sculpt's not great. Like, I don't like the glasses; they look goofy. Didn't like the movie. I would rather see another version of the first movie, which I love so much, which was taken from one of my favourite cartoon movies when I worked in Japan, Ghost in the Shell. There was a lot of inspiration taken from that into this movie, so I would rather see the first. Okay. Sorry.
So so you took about a minute there, which is all right, because it means that I don't have to talk about it because I agree with everything you just said. So yeah, grand. So we're gonna go. Let's just go for this. Yeah. So this released during the week. It was part of the Disney 100 celebrations. Obviously, Disney had bought Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios, but instead of doing a Mickey Mouse, whatever Hot Toys did, another Iron Man. I get Iron Man sells in Asia. It's a Mark 7. Mark 7's beautiful. Mark 7 with a Mark 5 paint job. The colors are great. The Mark 7 silhouette is beautiful. I have absolutely no interest in it. It's not screen accurate. If I was to get anything, it would be the Mark 7. I can list about 12 different Iron Man that I'd rather have before this. But look, maybe someone out there's a big Disney fan and they want that Disney 100 logo. Maybe they like the base. Or maybe they like that it is limited to 1,500. Anything you want to add there?
Completely agree. This will be red hot in especially Asia, but not. I love Mark 7, but no, not for me. Not.
It will increase in price, I'd say. The 1,500, I do think, if people are buying it to I don't know, to stock or to flip or whatever, yeah, I do think people will probably make money on this. I wouldn't have any interest in it, to be honest. I don't think, like, the limited, if something's limited to 500. It doesn't matter unless I really want the thing anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there's a figure I want, it doesn't matter if it's limited to 500 or if it's limited to 5 million. It's just something I want. I actually would prefer if it was limited to, if it had a number of like 5 million on it, because it would be easier to get and more than likely cheaper. It's a hindrance when these things are limited. I know people go on about the collectability or whatever, or people like, you know, some people just like to have the thing, to have something that other people don't have. I don't really care. I mean, like I mentioned, those Big Chief Studios figures earlier on. Yeah, they're limited to 400. It's a nice touch, but I'd be more concerned with the figure itself and the autograph. That's why I went for that. But yeah, look, it's I don't gravitate towards things like that. It's a nice little touch, but yeah, some people out there may find this the best thing. Yeah, so no, so you're not picking that up.
No, definitely not for me, and I don't buy to flip figures. I collect what I love. So
yeah, like at the end of the day, like take the diecast Mark 6 that I have behind me, love it. I don't care if every single person on the street is the same one, because I don't go into their houses. You know what I mean? So it's like ignorance is bliss. If everyone in Ireland had one, yeah, it wouldn't bother me, because it's like, you know, it's your collection room. 99% of the time you're the only one looking at it, and 99% of the time you're sleeping in your own house anyway, and it's like, it just doesn't bother me who has how many there is, whatever. It is a nice touch, you know, it is a nice touch, but that's all it is really. It's maybe the icing on the cake or something like that. But okay, so we're getting into some real talk. Like, I quite like R5D4. I think this turned out great. I like the weathering on it. I like figures that you can plug into different situations. This would look great next to a Farm Boy Luke. It would also look great next to a Beskar or Chrome Mando. I have no interest in the pit droids. I don't really gravitate towards prequels. BD72 there. I only know it's BD72 because I read the description and Mario told me yesterday. Would it be right in saying that this BD unit originated in a game? Was it a game or was it Rebels? Could please someone help me out with that?
I think my memory was from, I can't remember what game it was, but it is from a Star Wars game. So
I think it was Cal Kestis' friend. Would it be?
Cal Kestis. It's a different BD version, I think.
He's BD1,
Maybe
I
I'm
think,
wrong.
is he?
I can't remember. Yeah, BD1. Yeah.
But this might be the first time they've done a BD unit in 6 scale, maybe. Possibly. I think it is.
Oh yeah, definitely it is. Yeah.
Cool looking droids. I think R5D4 is the one that'd be most that I'd want. But at the same time, I don't have Farm Boy Luke. I don't think I'm going to get another Luke. I have 3. I have my favorite looks. Favorite Lukes. I have my favorite Lukes. But the R5D4, it would look cool next to Mando there. I do like posing figures with like little, for example, Cad Bane with Total 360. Or Mando with a little Grogu. Or even the, I don't know if you can see it now, it's probably very small. But the post Sarlacc pit Boba Fett, the battle damaged armor, which is, I actually think is my favorite look for Boba Fett. He's standing, he comes with a busted up, battle damaged Stormtrooper helmet. It's after getting a crack with the gaffy stick or whatever he has. So that there, he's just standing on it. If you get a chance, please just check out my short. I'm really proud of this pose. It's very, very simple. It's nothing that special, but I just really, really liked it. So like, I like posing figures with like trying to incorporate some sort of an accessory or something like that, you know. So this R5D4 would look great next to the Mandalorian. It would look great next to a Farm Boy Luke. That's all I'm saying. Like, did you pick this up, or is this?
I've not picked this up. I didn't pre-order, but I was curious to see what it was selling for recently after seeing it was selling out everywhere. And it's, too rich for me. I've seen also that there is a clean version of R5D4 that would fit better for me, as I'm more an original trilogy guy.
Yeah.
I want the clean version because I've got the sideshow Jawas that I think are still better than the Hot Toys ones, and I would want that. So if I got this at a good price, I would do it. But I believe, I genuinely believe the OT R5D4 is coming out because sideshow have got the clean version of it.
Yeah.
So,
but couldn't that be from maybe the Mandalorian or something, or?
And it might be, and see, even if it is, that's
I
fine.
think it is. Do you know why? He was really, really dusty and weathered up, and in A New Hope. You know what I mean?
I think I need to check.
Yeah.
I need to check. I think the paint is slightly different, but I would put the single clean version in my OT
Right.
shelf. That's what I would do.
Right.
This is great though, but I think droids, Star Wars droids, if anybody wants Star Wars droids, don't sleep on it. These things are just like hot potatoes.
Yeah, droids and aliens. We all that Gonk droid and Jawa pack is crawling up in value.
You look at this the sideshow figures that I've got a couple. The AT driver, which I love, but there's some that aren't great. They go for some serious dollars.
Yeah, no, you're right. Speaking of Jawas, we've been donated a very, very kind super chat. Thank you very much, Collector Joey. $1.99 super chat. Really do appreciate it. Hit that like button. And Collector Joey, you actually reminded me of something, because I have different sound effects and little clips for different like tiers of super chats and stuff. But I also decided on a clip for new channel members. And when Lancelot's Nerd Corner earlier on became a new channel member, I didn't actually thank him for his generosity. So like I just again, I'm always shocked when people become channel members. I'm so shocked. I just have to sit back and say,
shit, boy. Shit, partner. Shit. 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 Thanks for your time.
Clay Davis, what a guy. What a guy. You know, anytime you speak to Wire fans, and sometimes the Wire fans will do an impression of Clay Davis, I always think to myself, they're exaggerating. And then I go back and watch that clip and I'm like, nope, they weren't exaggerating. Just going to address these chats very quickly. So we got Payton23. I'm waiting on the Clean Ore 5 with the mouse droid to drop, but this set looks nice. Yeah, I think this is branded Book of Boba Fett. And the other one is, I'd imagine, branded Mandalorian Season 3, because that's when the mouse droid, he got bullied by the mouse droid. Joey, I really do appreciate it, man. That is very much appreciated. This is a great set, but I pass on it. Would love a 3-pack of the pits, though. Yeah, I said prequel fans would absolutely as well. X-Man Supreme, channel member, thank you very much for being here. Shane, I have to say, I'm quite proud of myself. I removed the stands from all but 2 of my figures. Good stuff. How's it going for you? Are they... Hope you don't live in earthquake country. Hope they're still in one piece. Copper, I'm getting R5D4, my favorite droid. Don't know why, but it goes back to the original figures. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of it just screams retro or something like that, I think. Collector Joey saying hello to Yomo, and Collector Joey's a social butterfly. He's coming in here saying hello to everyone. He knows everyone. Must get him back on the channel. Actually, Joey, if you're free now, let us know, and you can come in. So hit that like, guys. Shane stands out in the YouTube world. I do appreciate that. You might ban me now, but I've never seen The Wire. Look, I'm jealous you've never seen The Wire. It's like when people say they've never seen Breaking Bad. I'm just jealous because they don't know what's ahead of them and the excitement and stuff like that. So yeah, I just want to flick through some of these photos. I think we're in the same train of thought on this. As Marco from 16 Fix would say, it's the opportunity cost. If you invest, how good the two of them look together though. You invest $250 into this pack, you're taking money away from another main character, maybe figure that you would have more connection to, or it looks cooler, or from a nicer, better IP or whatever like that. So yeah, that's it for me really. I have to invest the funds into characters I prefer more, main characters or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it still looks cool. Look, I mean, next to Farm Boy Luke or Beskar Mando, it would look super. So that's pretty much all I have to say on that one, unless you've anything else to add.
No, I totally agree. The price for this isn't for me, so looks great. Hey, fantastic, but not for me.
Now we're on to another one, which is, I'd imagine, not for a lot of people. So it's quarter scale. It's the Mark IV with the gantry. When I saw this, I think a lot of people got excited thinking it was the Mark IV with gantry 6 scale 2.0. And I think a lot of the community would have preferred that. And that would, they probably shift more units of that than this. Because a lot of people don't like quarter scales. Because they think they're too big. And of course a bigger box means bigger shipping costs. And of course if you're getting stung with customs, more expensive item plus more expensive shipping costs, equals massive custom charges and, divorces and stuff like that. So this looks awesome though. Like if you had a wall of module cases of different sizes, like, some that cater for vehicles, some that cater for 6 scales, some vertical for like quarter scales, this would be amazing in like a module, like the one behind you. I know you've the ones for 6 scale and stuff, but you can get module cases for all shapes and sizes, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And this, I think, would fit in this one here, or there's one at the back.
It's going to full screen you. Would it actually fit in?
Height-wise, it would fit in here.
Oh yeah, you've got a kind of a riser up there or something. You could take that out.
Yeah, so this is a 698. So height-wise, it would fit. You would then need to go past here. There's another bit you can't see, but gotcha. So you'd get the height. But if I was getting that figure, it would be the DF. It'd be big, but it's not a lane as swimming, so it's but it's beautiful. This is beautiful. If I had unlimited space, unlimited money, I would be all in on this. It's gorgeous, but it's too big.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a look at this now. I'm going to flick through some of these images because the Mark IV is a nice suit. The only thing is, I find that the Mark IV it really is a hybrid. It's that stepping stone. I find it a stepping stone in between the 3 and the 6. Where the 3 I'm looking at the 3, I have the quarter scale, like I'm not anti-quarter scale, I have 2 of them. I've got the quarter scale Mark III and has a very curvy chest. I said that yesterday and Mario wasn't letting that go. But there, if you look at the Mark VI, which was my favourite Iron Man armour, it's a lot leaner looking. It's not as round around the chest area. It's a lot more angular and leaner. Whereas this seems to be almost a natural progression in between the 3 and the 6. Beautiful armor, very, very modern looking, or sorry, should I say like not modern, the more kind of the classic looking Iron Man guy in suit, walking tank, a suit of armor, which is what I prefer, more heavy duty kind of stuff as opposed to the leaner look of the 50 or the 85, and I still love the 85. Pre-nanotech, basically, chunky. But this thing, like that there now, you have that inside a module case behind glass with those really white, cool light, high, is it Kelvin? The measurement of
Kelvin, yeah.
The Kelvin. So if you have like a high Kelvin rating, like 6,000, whatever, it's a whiter, a cooler look, and you have this wired up, that's gonna be a centerpiece. Nobody is gonna walk into your room and not look at that. It's gonna be absolutely stunning. It's just that space issue. This is an absolute juggernaut.
That's the thing, Shane. It's beautiful. This is stunning, absolutely. And I would love to have some quarter scale, but this is too big for what I play with. But wow, this is it's stunning. Anybody getting this?
Is anyone in the chat actually picking this up? I would like to know that. I'm not. I mean, I do have a quarter scale vision. One Marvel, one DC, one Star Wars. I have the DC and the Marvel. I'm just, I've got the Mark III. I've got the Dark Knight DX19 style suit in quarter scale, the new basic quarter scale Batman. After that, what do I get? A Vader maybe. I'm not in a rush, but who knows if this Ahsoka show is, a win, if it's really, really good, if it's a good story, if it's a hit, if it's a banger of a series. Maybe Hot Toys do the quarter scale Ahsoka, which would be amazing. Maybe that's the Star Wars representation. Yeah, look, I don't really have a bad word to say about this. Unfortunately, it's just I don't have the space for it. Wish I did.
Yeah. Great. It's stunning, Shane. Honestly, I think it's
this hypes
somebody
me up.
They'd walk into your room and go, "Wow."
I'd walk into the room and go, "Wow," even though I don't. Like this, this excites me a lot more than the D100 Iron Man or the limited to 300 golden Mark III quarter scale that was announced there today. This is just bloody cool. Even that pose there just looks boss.
Oh God, damn it, Shane! You know that Lucy's out tonight, and you keep sharing these photos.
Yeah, you're going to be on the pre-order list, man. You're going to be looking at those module case behind you, going, if I move that and I move that there, that could go in there. Do you have any quarter scales?
I have none. However, if I ordered this, Lucy will phone you this weekend. You're in trouble.
Yeah. I was like, no, it was all his idea. I don't know what Ian was talking about. No. Yeah, but he did say he'll get you that thing that you like, so that's how I twist it back on you. Yeah, this looks pretty damn cool, man. This looks pretty damn cool.
It's great that they're doing this. I'm just gutted that it's not for me, and I'm glad it's not for me because I've got so many other pre-orders, but this is, if somebody's getting this, well done. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
But like this is, I don't know, you could be talking $1,000. I mean, between shipping, tax, all this stuff, could be talking $1,000.
Easy. This has got to be easy, right? $1,000. Yeah.
Right, so the next thing we were looking at then. Now I was looking, I think we're kind of getting into the main focus, no pun intended. Yeah. Oh no, sorry, there's 3 more items left on the list or the agenda. So this one here, take it away, Ian. What do you think?
Well, first off, regardless of what this figure looked like, I would never be buying it. So the previous version for me wasn't good. That, I think I made myself quite clear on that in terms of it looked like a cheap Legends figure. What is very, very good to hear is Hot Toys listened, they changed it up. I know it's Marmite, right? It's Marmite. People are one way, people are another way. I think they've made the right decision. They've listened to the community and they've upgraded the suit. I mean, Jesus Christ, that almost makes me think I would like to get that. How that looks, but it's not for me because I don't collect that kind of line. But you have to applaud Hot Toys. They listened to the feedback and they made a huge, in my opinion, they made a huge improvement on this figure. So
yeah,
I just didn't like the original figure. It just looked terrible in my opinion, but this looks fantastic. But it's not for me because I'm not collecting that line build. That looks stunning.
Yeah, I agree. I really like this light up effect with the I think it's a blue light or something you use on it. Yeah, the kind of phrase, it's an oversized or 6 scale Marvel Legends figure every time Hot Toys drop something which is like doesn't have the same detail as your typical Hot Toys, or maybe the sculpt is off or joints off, and bring up that conversation. I think a lot of the time it's exaggerated, it's hyperbole, but I think in this case you're absolutely right. I did think that the previous version looked like a Marvel Legends figure. It looked cheap, and yeah, you'd have increased articulation, but it just looked like an overpriced toy at the end of the day. I know it's hot toys, but let's be honest, like these things, they're high-end collectibles, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you're paying that amount of money, you want something that looks a bit more screen accurate, and with the joints, it doesn't. And this guy's very hard to capture screen accuracy, because even like, it's such a stunning movie. The animation is so stunning. Even like I was trying to explain it earlier on, like on the video I did, that like around the elbows and stuff when I was watching the movie, it was like they had the lines. It was like the artist's sketch lines. They'd nearly move. Did you see the movie?
Yes, I did. Loved it. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's almost like, do you know something when an artist first of all draws a sketch of something and there's like lines which are not perfect. It was like they left them in. It just looked amazing. And I think getting rid of the joints is good. I think this little texture where you get kind of like the Black Panther from the Civil War movie, when you to shine I think it is blue light on it, you can see all the designs and stuff like that. I know a lot of people aren't going to use that, but if you have this in a display and you have a way of, like, you know, with a smartphone or a smart app, just clicking a button and you get that particular light which is operated through an app, and you can get that light shining up at the right angle to give this look, I think this will look stunning. Also, I don't think this figure will look out of place next to Gwen and Miles, because you can't see the joints in them either. The only thing is, like, I will say, I do think Hot Toys listened, but what I mean by that is not to the streams or the Facebook groups or the polls or the comments. They listened to the bottom dollar, the line. Pre-order numbers were low, and they realized, all right, people don't like this, we need to do something. And maybe then they looked at something, a comment or two on their own page, and went, yeah, okay, vast majority of people don't like the joints. I'm sure there are people who like the joints, but I would guarantee if you took a poll, out of all the people who ordered this or didn't order this or who had an interest in this, I would imagine the people who wanted this version or are happier with this version would outweigh the people who like the joints.
Totally agree. For me, Shane, I've got no interest in the original that they had a prototype on with all the joints, and this. I'm not buying either. But if I was, it'd 100% be this. This is night and day compared to that original figure. In my opinion, no disrespect to anybody else, but this figure looks so much more accurate to the movie to me.
I'd agree. And as well, like I find it when you're streaming or you're making videos, I find as a content creator, sometimes you do constantly find yourself saying, in my opinion. I've actually tried to make a conscious decision over the last 2 months to not say in my opinion, because it's YouTube, it's your opinion, it's all your opinion, you know what I mean? So like that, like the typically the people we get watching the videos, like 9% of the time, we have like I get a lot of comments saying like, hey Shane, following me for a while, I appreciate the video, but I completely disagree with you. And I love that. And 99% of people who are subscribing to the channel and following get that. And we're kind of old enough to realize sometimes people aren't going to like the thing you like. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say anyone in the chat would be offended by you saying you like this or you don't like this or whatever. The vibe tends to be good. So just a massive shout out to any of the subscribers or the unsubscribed. But click the subscribe button. What are you waiting for? And
Shane
and commanders. Yeah.
Shane, see, to be honest, I understand why people would like the original figure if they are totally into dynamic poses and doing certain
that's
things.
A fair point.
And I totally get that. Absolutely, 100%. But for me, I prefer the aesthetics, how it looks, but I get the dynamic aspect why people would rather the other figure. But
I think our thoughts are similar on this.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the Iron Man. We'll finish up with Moff Gideon then. So like you can go first on this one. So I'll just give a little bit of a synopsis on this. First of all, this is quarter scale. When I first saw it, I thought it was 6 scale. Read the fine print. It's actually quarter scale. It's the Mark III. It's to mark the 15th anniversary since the first ever Iron Man movie came out back in 2008, which effectively is the first ever MCU movie. Also the same year that The Dark Knight came out, so 15 years for that as well. Does that mean we're going to see like a golden DX19 or something like? I hope not. So we have a Mark III, and it's limited to 300 pieces. So quarter scale golden Mark III, limited 300 pieces to mark the 15-year anniversary, and it comes with this very nice, I have to say, acrylic display case, which actually will have the number on it. I gotta say, I do think this is a nice touch. The fact that while I mentioned earlier on, I don't look at something and go, oh God, it's limited, I have to have it. It's more, I sometimes see it as a burden or a barrier. If there's a figure that I'm interested in that I know is limited to a certain amount, whether that's 300, 1,000, 3,000, 4,000, and if I want that figure, I see, geez, I got to get into this rat race now. I got to join a lottery, or I got to, dance with the devil on the aftermarket and try to go on eBay or whatever. And it's a burden. So I'd rather something is unlimited and I could just get it cheaper and easier, because there's only going to be one in my house, and ignorance is bliss. I don't really care who else does or doesn't have it. But with all that said, I do think it's kind of cool that they are catering for the collectors out there that do want the limited figures and do want that bit of exclusiveness and stuff like that. So it is interesting the way they have this numbered. I do like, it's a nice touch. The acrylic case, if it comes out like this, it's pretty nice. You got the Iron Man in the front, Mark III. It's given the number out of 300, so you know which one you have. And I like the kind of circuitry design on the acrylic there. But yeah, Ian, what do you think?
I'm the same as you, Shane, on this one. Although I do want a kind of Midas Iron Man figure, but in 1/6 scale, but I want it in die cast. If this was 1/6 scale, I'd probably go, yeah, I'm going to order this. I don't do quarter scale. I think it's stunning. What I really, like you said, what I really love is the acrylic case that they've brought this in. I think that is fantastic. I think Howard is looking at the community and realising certain things. I think it looks great. I also think you'd mentioned earlier, it looks a little bit gimmicky, and I get that as well, because there's certain things it's not relatable to, but I've always wanted. So I did have the plastic Midas years ago, and I sold that. I'm not a big fan of the plastic Iron Man figures.
And this is plastic as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I want a die-cast gold Iron Man. That's for me personally, but it looks stunning. I don't collect for limited edition or anything. I collect for me. I don't collect for profit or anything. So, but if it was 1/6 scale and die-cast, I'm all in.
I get that. Yeah, look, I won't be chasing this one. Again, there's only 3/4 scales that I need, and I have 2 of them, so I don't know what the third one will be, but it'll be a Star Wars one. So yeah, look, again, it'd be interesting to see. I am interested to see when these are gone, give it a year, when they're out and they've been released for a year, what they go for in the aftermarket. I'm guessing they will shoot up. There's only 300. Like, come on, how could they not, really? You know what I mean? Right, so let's finish up on the kind of, I suppose, the bigger announcement today. I think this one's probably a bigger announcement. This one is a tricky one for me. I'm going to let you go first on this one, though. Do you have any interest in this? What do you think of it? That head sculpt, no?
So, originally, no. But here's the thing. I feel like a hypocrite because I'm looking at the Mandalorian and Boba Fett line behind me, and I thought, I'm not going to collect anything in that line unless it's bounty hunters, and I've collected a few figures, and I saw this, and as much as I love him, I think he's fantastic. Like you, I think he's awesome. The head sculpt's absolutely stunning, and like everything else, the pairs gives it so much more life. Here's the thing: if I had to buy this, I'd have to buy 2 Praetorian Guards from that series as well to give it the look that I want. Did that character give me that level of feeling that I want to spend a huge amount? Listen, everybody knows this is not a cheap hobby. I want this, but right now, no. Does that feel contradictory? I don't know, but
I think we're on a similar footing on this. Did you think the Book of Boba Fett was a good show?
I enjoyed parts of it, and hence why I've got a couple of figures. But
what figures did you get?
It comes. So I've got. So there's a crossover, right? So I mean, I've got Cad Bane. I've got.
That's
Boba
my
Fett.
point.
You know, so it's scenes that were in that, and plus, if they make a bounty hunter, I'm buying it. I need bounty. I'm all in on bounty hunters, but it's the scene, and this, as much as I love this guy, it didn't give me that. For me, right now, no. Because I know I'd need to add in other figures.
It wasn't captivating enough for you.
Yeah.
Like,
but for me, Shane.
No, I get that, because, say, with Giancarlo Esposito, like, I thought he played one of the greatest villains of all time when he played Gustavo Fring in Breaking Bad. Captivating presence. Going back to like that kind of feeling I got when I was watching Tommy Shelby during the opening episode in that bar in season 5 of Peaky Blinders, or the opening scene in Inglourious Bastards with Christopher Waltz. That like just could not take your eyes off the screen, on the edge of the seat, and that's a combination of a lot of things. It's the story, the context, the setting, it's the script, it's what's said, it's what not said, it's the body language, and it is down to the actor as well. And although I wouldn't recommend the Book of Boba Fett to Star Wars fans or non-Star Wars fans. I'd recommend Mandalorian season 1 and 2 to Star Wars fans and to non-Star Wars fans. But the Book of Boba Fett, I would say just watch episode 5 and 6, because 5 and 6 were phenomenal.
Yeah.
I have Cad Bane in my collection, and it's not because I love the Book of Boba Fett, and he is a triple threat because I loved that character in live action. I love the scenes that he was in, particularly that Cobb Vanth scene. I was on the edge. The dialogue there, the suspense was almost out of place. It was so good in the show. And I really liked the how they designed him as well. Fine, the hat isn't huge, but it wasn't huge in the show. I bought it because of his appearance live action. Now the thing about this is, I love Giancarlo Esposito. I thought he was phenomenal as Gus Fring. Basically everything I've seen him in, back from like Do the Right Thing to the Reverend in The Get Down to his appearance in The Boys, particularly in Breaking Bad, and I loved him as Moff Gideon. Why didn't I buy the Moff Gideon from season 1 and 2? The head sculpt wasn't good enough. I don't think it was good enough. I thought that the outfit was fine, the Darksaber fine, but I just thought the head sculpt, I toyed with the idea a lot, didn't pull the trigger. Then I see this, and we knew this was coming. I think the head sculpt looks great. It's definitely, I think it's a solid 8, maybe higher, but it's good. It has the rolling eyeballs function. Part of me is like, okay, buy the original one, the 1.0, and then swap this sculpt out for that. But then I'm thinking, okay, then I've got to buy 2 figures. I know the other one is trading very, very cheap. And then also this guy, his facial hair is different. He had a mustache in season 1 and 2, so it's still not going to be right. And then that, even if you can actually attach his head to the other one, he looks good in the outfit. The outfit looks aesthetically cool. It definitely does. The head sculpt is on point. But just kind of like you, none of the scenes, although it aesthetically looks cool and the head sculpt is good, The scenes with him in it didn't blow my mind. I didn't think the action was that great. I definitely wasn't captivated. I wasn't on the edge of my seat. And that kind of bothers me. So
Yeah.
I'm really on a knife edge with this one. I could end up pulling the trigger on the strength of the sculpt, the fact that I haven't got a Moff Gideon in my collection, the fact that I think Giancarlo Esposito is just a phenomenal actor, and it aesthetically does look good. It looks cool. But a lot of the time I say I pass on a lot of things that look cool, or pass on a lot of things I like to get the things I love, and you have to do that in this game. So I might have to exercise extreme discipline here and not get it. I don't know. I'm really on the edge with this one. I just want to address some of these chats here. So X-Man Supreme channel member says, I want the 1/6 Midas suit and the new Mark III and the Mark it's 85 battle damage. Oh, did you see? You might be interested in this. I have a short on this, Dave, if you haven't seen it, because it probably won't show up that good here, but I'll give it a lash. So that's the Mark 85 battle damage lit up with fusion reactors, and I gotta tell you, it does not come through on this camera. I put up a short, maybe I think it's like the second or third last short I put up. Highly recommend you take a look at it. Yeah, if you want the Mark 85 now, you'll definitely want it after the short, and I highly recommend those fusion reactors. They just add a bit more to the figure, I find. Yeah, so Copper says it's a no from me on this, but he likes the guards. Robo Gideon looks awesome. I agree, Payton, absolutely does, but like, I need it to be more than look good. I want the scene to be good as well. Yeah, I'm on a knife edge with it. If I were to get this, then I would have to get Chrome Mando and Bo-Katan, but also I've sworn not to get more than a couple of Star Wars figures. Slippery slope. I don't have the OG Gideon, so this you get this one. He basically put the armor on and then exploded. Shiny's not wrong. He's not wrong. And then, is it going to be a case that they do Mandalorian season 4? And we find out that it's not even him. And then some smart fucker is going to come into your collection room and go, why'd you buy a clone? Yeah, you're hilarious. Like, you know what I mean? So, but you know what I mean? It's like, Star Wars humor. I think this looks really good though. Like, I haven't a bad thing to say about the figure itself. It's just, it's from a season, from an IP I didn't particularly care for. But I look, I think if you're a soccer fan, and your team loses a few games, and you give up on your team, you're a shit fan. So I think it's a bit like that. I'm a Star Wars fan, and I still think I am a Mandalorian fan. I just think they had a great first season, a fantastic second season, and I'd say Book of Boba Fett episode 5 and 6 of season 2.5, all amazing. But then I just found a bit lackluster season 3, but I'm still a fan. It's just, hopefully they get it back on track if they do a season 4. The positive with this is the rolling eyes. They improved the figure tenfold. The original just stares into space. I agree. I do agree. Yeah, I do agree. Mark 85, top of the list. Only 5 likes for the stream. Look at you calling everyone out, and I love it. I'm here for it. Thank you. Come on, folks, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. Thank you. That was good support. All right, so we're kind of finishing up on this, but I just want to flick through some more images on it because the suit looks great as well. I don't like the choice of weapon, but that's not Hot Toys' fault. I can hear something in the background there. Is that you? Or see that there? Like the what do you call this? Like the staff with the electricity on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought maybe for someone like all the futuristic gear that he would have maybe something a bit more. Is it Beskar maybe? Those guards. Now I have to say, this look from here, which is very season 1 or 2. Like I think I would have to have him posed with the head sculpt exposed, and him holding the helmet. I just want to state for the record that because I'll tell you, it's rare I get shitty troll comments, but it happens every now and then, and sometimes I just delete them, and sometimes I block the people, and sometimes I mess around with them a bit, and sometimes I send them to Ian and we have a good laugh about it. But like, it's okay to change your mind and things, but for the record, I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on this or not. I'm 50-50. I'm like, the head sculpt, fantastic. The fact that I don't have Moff Gideon, these are all like reasons to get it. The fact that it's Giancarlo Esposito. The fact that the suit and the design looks amazing. But then the big elephant in the room is that the season itself and the scenes that this appeared in, I don't think were that particularly good.
Shane, I totally agree with you. I'm absolutely on the same page as you, but my issue is I actually love this head sculpt. I think the outfit and all that looks great. And
that looks class. That looks really good.
I can understand.
Sorry, go on.
How Filoni and that, they're absolutely trying to connect from Return of the Jedi to the sequels. In my opinion, they're trying. So you see that link, especially with the Praetorian guards. I can't buy that figure on alone. I would need that version of Praetorian guards and the jet troopers that were in that one little bit of the. And then I'm thinking, do I love this figure as much to spend that money? That's a huge amount of money.
I'll tell you now, Ian. The only figures from season 3 that I've any interest in it, I think that's singular actually. The only figure is this, and that is the Moff Gideon Giancarlo Esposito amazing head sculpt effect. Yeah. That's a long awkward hashtag, but yeah. Yeah. No, I don't even think this makes the wish list just yet, but I cannot rule this out.
Well, we're definitely thinking the same things. I've got a place there. Man,
this is a solid point.
I feel we've been robbed. I think there's so much more potential. I feel we've been robbed. But yeah,
robbed with what do you mean?
The whole season, the character. This, I think. Not from the head sculpt or that figure. I think this figure is fantastic. I think the head sculpt looks amazing, and that's what's pulling me in.
Yeah.
But I didn't like. It seemed a little bit limp, the character for me, personally.
And he was so good in season 1 or 2, particularly the last thing is he really made an appearance. I think it was the second last episode and the last episode of season 1, and he's that speech, you have something I want, like it, just the way he talks, just unmistakable. He speaks with authority. He speaks, you bloody listen, like, you know what I mean. And he was really, really good in season 2 as well. Granted, like, obviously Mando got the better of him in season 2, and he was a bit sniveling and stuff like that. But in this season, then I don't know. Yeah, I
nothing against him. I think it's the writing.
The writing, yeah. I think
like you, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I do want this, but I'm on the fence.
Yeah, I'm planted on the fence. I think we're going to pretty much end it there. So obviously, Ian, thanks very much for coming on. Hopefully we'll see you again on Monday for the Hope Show. That's pretty much what's coming up, folks, on the channel. Shout out to anyone who's taken the time out of their day to watch or engage in the chat. Massive shout out to subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Huge shout out to Collector Joey for the $1.99 super chat, and for Lancelot's Nerd Corner for joining the channel membership. So I do appreciate that as massive, and it's just very much appreciated. What's coming up on the channel? I've noticed that there's a guy called David. He is a supporter of the channel. He's present in a lot of the premieres and live streams and watches the videos and stuff like that. He's kind of asking me to do a quarter scale review of the quarter scale Dark Knight, and I might actually do that if I get a chance next week. And I should also do a review on Arthur Shelby. So they're the two reviews I have in mind. I also want to do a little showcase and kind of a showcase review, more of a showcase on the fusion reactors, because at the moment I've got the Mark 6 Iron Man, the Mark 1 War Machine, both powered up with the fusion reactors, the same as the DX13's eye. I just wired up the cable eye, Deadpool 2 cable, his eye as well the other day, and the Battle Damage Mark 85, and I have a kit for the Mark 47, so I want to get that done and then just do a showcase, show you what they look like, and also then just do a quick video on how you actually install them, like what they look like out of the box, how you install them, and then how I do my best to hide as much of the cable as possible. So right now you'll see, like, for example, I know the DX13, there's a little wire going from his back heel and then it disappears behind the detail because I run them down the aluminium support frames, but the whole thing is to show that. And maybe do something. I think I've already done one with the CCFL anyway, but yeah, so they're the kind of videos that I'm going to try and work on next week. Review of the quarter scale Dark Knight Batman, review of the Arthur Shelby, and the fusion reactors showcase and review, and just kind of showing you basically, like I said, what they look like, what the finished product looks like, how to install them, and how I personally ran them and tried to hide those wires behind the details. Ian, thanks a million for coming on. And anything coming up, or anything, do you have anything coming in that you're excited about? Anything we could look forward to seeing on your Instagram?
I might do. In fact, I'm going to do a Instagram video tomorrow from the Jazz Inc. Vulture. I've been thinking about it. I'm going to do something on that, which will not affect this broken hand. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And then if anybody wants to GoFund me and help the recovery periods. But yeah,
so
that's
hashtag get Ian a thumb.
Get Ian. I can't open any other Hot Toys box until this is fixed.
That might be the ultimate first world problem.
I think so. But yeah, pleasure. I love talking with you, Shane, and
yeah,
the chat.
likewise.
I absolutely love the chat that's on your streams. So
there's a good vibe.
Thank you.
Yeah, good people. Folks, we're out of here. I'm gonna go watch a movie and talk to my puppy. That wasn't a double entendre. There is a puppy downstairs. He's new, and I want to go down and say hello. So I'm out of here. See you, folks.